Hello, my loves. Join me today while I put... Oh, are you my love? Do you want to say hello, my love? Yes, you're my love too. I love you, Miss Way. Oh, big yawn. Big yawn. You've been having the naps while we get ready for filming. Oh, you nearly licked me right in my mouth. These are the things that I am thinking I might try to pan in the next quarter of my project pan for the makeup items. So I'm going to start off with primer. This isn't technically a primer. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. It's a natural glow enhancer. I have the shade 902 Light Glow. So I picked this up recently just to, test out some new drugstore bits because your girl's curious. And let's face it, it's been a really long time since I have shopped for makeup. So I thought, let's start with drugstore. And I can't say it went perfectly well. My expectations were probably a little bit too high, to be honest. Now, like I said, this isn't technically a primer, but I know you can use the product like this. So I'm just going to try. I'm going to try it today. If I hate it, if anything's going terribly wrong, then, I won't use it. I may even get rid of it. I don't know. So far, my experience with it has been nice. I want to do my eyes first because that's just what I do. The issue that I have is I don't actually have any eye primers that haven't already been in my project pan this year. Well, that's kind of a lie. I do, but it's like Too Faced glitter glue and I'm trying to use a Pat McGrath one. So I pulled out this. This is the Nude Matte Eye Color from Christian Louboutin. It's in the shade Lola 451. I don't know if this is really going to work as an eye primer, but I am certainly going to try it out. It might not be the right color. It might set too quickly. It might not hold on to eyeshadows that I put over it, which that's probably my biggest concern. But we'll try it out today. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna I'm gonna set this area. It does feel like it's got a bit of tackiness. I'm just gonna set this area with the Inglot 328 eyeshadow that was in my first quarter because I want the matte eyeshadows that I'm gonna put on to blend it easily. Eyeshadow, I am gonna put this on. I was gonna do this off camera, but we'll do it on camera. Too Faced Born This Way Sunset Strip Palette. I'm still working on testing all of my eyeshadows. This is the shade Nude Beach. I can't lie, guys. This project just killing me, totally kicking my ass. I fully expected, there's only 3 palettes in the current testing group that I'm doing, I'm pretty sure. 2 Too Faced palettes and a Tartus, tiny thing. And I have not got there. The thing that kind of threw me off was the Glamonatrix palette coming in that I wasn't expecting. But also I could have just, worn eyeshadow even more, but also I didn't. And I'm so burnt out with eyeshadow. Once I finish this project, I think what I might do is just take a hard break from eyeshadows and only wear them if I am being sent a palette for PR to test out, and then just come back to my collection at some stage in the future because I need a break. This one is Chai Times, which is kind of a burgundy shade. I feel like this brush is too big for what I want to do with it. What am I doing? I'm feeling so far so good with this Louboutin eyeshadow. Moment of truth though. Let's see how it goes with the shimmery shades. Not too bad. I will say the shimmery shades in this palette have been so disappointing. Especially compared to the first one. I remember that being an issue when they released it. It was just kind of like, the fuck? Some of the shades are like, they're really pretty, but they're just kind of like, when you put them on the eye, it's like, what is that? Okay, I think that Louboutin eyeshadow can stay in the project as a primer. I think that will work just fine. Let's move on to base products. So this is the combo that I'm thinking of tackling. I've got the Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte. This is in the shade 98. It is too light for me, too dry for me. It just doesn't really get along with me. And then we've got Chanel Vita Lumiere. Now this was in my project pan at some stage. I can't remember if it was the start of the year or if I tried to pan it last year. I think I tried to pan it last year and I was just like, no, this is not working. This is super duper sheer. It oxidizes a little bit dark on me, a little bit like, it pulls a lot of like yellow tones, which is a bit too much for me. I'm more of an olive. And also it is silicone heavy, so it creases and moves everywhere. When I put the two together, they're not too bad. No, they're not my favorite. I wouldn't like go out and buy this combo again to, you know, have it as my holy grail combo. But if I can find a way to pan both of these, I'll be happy. This one I'd actually earmarked for like getting rid of. I'd taken it out of my stash. My plan was to declutter it. I was going to give it away. But now that I've kind of found a way to make them work, I'm going to try and make it work. And then we'll get them on and see how we go, especially over this Lumi, what was it called? Lumi Glotion. We'll see how it all looks. I feel like the coverage that like this combo creates is quite pretty. It looks fairly natural. It doesn't cover up everything, which I quite like, except I wish it would cover this, but it won't. Oh my god, that's so much. But I do think together these guys are more complementary than they are separately. I feel like we're getting too bright in here. The sun is coming around the side of the house to brighten up this room. And now I looked at my lights and I can't see anything properly. This was my original plan to project pan in the next quarter until oh my god, whatever, until this combo, like I worked out that it kind of works together. This is a NYX Bear With Me concealer serum. I still want to put this in my project pan. I don't love this. The coverage is pretty mid. It's, you know, doesn't look, the color is fine, I will say that, but on the skin it's pretty crappy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dot it on and then I'm going to let it sit just for a little while before I blend it in. It was suggested to me that I do this, like just sort of let it sit and dry out a little bit before blending it in. And it does work a little bit better than like, you know, just on its own as is. I still don't love it. I would never buy it again. I just want to pan it and get rid of it. Okay, let's see if we can make this work. I might still hate it. I definitely do think it is better when you sort of let it sit just for a minute to sort of dry out on your skin. This here is always the major test. Can you cover that broken capillary on my nose? The answer is no, not really. But there is another reason why I decided to put this in my project pan, and that is because I think I could actually use it as a foundation, and I would burn through it quite quickly. So I am still very much determined to continue with my original plan to put it in my project this quarter, because I would like it gone before the end of the year. I don't want to take it into 2026 with me. And if I'm perfectly honest, I don't really think it looks bad. I think what I really dislike about it is actually the way that it wears throughout the day. And like once it settles into my smile lines. Like, it's all over from there. It's just, you know, it doesn't look good. And also when I, you know, I'm expressing with my eyes, like I'm smiling or, you know, frowning or whatever I'm doing the facial movements, it all just kind of moves and looks a bit shit. Powder. So this, it's a mini. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. I don't know if I've ever used this. No, she's brand new. She's still got the seal on her. I am going to give this a go. Oh, the sifter just popped. I've had this kicking around for ages and just never used it. But I am very curious about whether it's good or not. My concern, especially with loose powders, is often I apply too much. And then it makes my skin look really like cakey and dry. And also sometimes they feel like they're sucking the life out of my face. And like, look at how it's so hard to just pick up a normal amount of product. Like, give me something with a more refined sifter. I feel like this is going to be a nightmare, but we'll try it. Yeah, look at it. Get on there. You know what? I actually don't think that looks too bad. It's looking a bit flat. Feels a little dry. Like, it feels like it's locked everything in. But I'm willing to give it a chance and see if it's something that I could potentially pan. Let's move on to bronzer, blush, highlight. I was going to do individual powder products for these categories because I really want to like minimize that area of my stash. I want to get rid of the things that I'm not loving or in love with, and you know, keep the things that I really, really love, because my whole collection is old at this point. Oh, bloody, I feel like hairs are stuck to me. The problem is I own, especially with like blush and highlight, I own so many. It's kind of hard to just, you know, pick some. But then I thought, I haven't done palette this year. I should work on a palette. So I've pulled out the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit in Surreal Light. I chose this one because it has a bronzer, 2 blushes, and a highlight. There's also a finishing powder over here. And I thought it would be fun to do a palette. So let's go. This is the thing that I hate about palettes like this. Like, bronzer, tiny little tiny pan. Tiny unusable pan. But my god, I do love the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders. I feel like that's a very red looking bronzer. I may struggle with it throughout the colder months, but you know what? I think I'm still just gonna give this palette a go. I am going in with the like bright pink blush, which I think I will like the least, but you know, where it's like, what the fuck is that color? This is why I stopped buying the ambient lighting palettes, because I rarely find one where I feel like I would use and enjoy all of the pans in the palette. And this is the highlighter, which is this pan here. And I have to say, I've never liked the ambient lighting, what do they call them? Strobe lights, that's it. I've always thought that these were really like lackluster and boring. I almost feel like the ambient lighting powders just on their own do a better job, like the original ones that they brought out. These ones I feel are just kind of mid. So maybe that is a really good reason to try and pan the palette and eventually just get rid of it. Once upon a time, I panned an Hourglass ambient lighting powder, the shade Dim Light, as a really soft bronzer, and I loved that. It's stayed on my mind as something that I would buy again in the future. So I don't want to give off the impression that I don't like the Hourglass ambient lighting range. I just think collectively the color story in here is not right for me. And this is why I don't buy the palettes anymore. That's that's it. Okay, brows. So I have bought back a good old Benefit Precisely My Brow. And the reason why I am panning one of these, again, I feel like I've panned one of these every year for like the past 50 years of my life. This is in the shade 2, and I chose this one because I have 2 of these. So this one is the one that has had some use. The other one that I have is new. These have been a fave for a long time, especially this shade. Shade 2, just like perfect for me. The reason why is because my brows aren't bad, you know, like there's not a whole lot that really needs to be done. I don't need to fill them in completely. What I struggle with is like a few little gaps in my hairs. So on one of my brows, I have a scar and hair doesn't grow over the scar. And if I, you know, don't sort of position the brow hairs perfectly, that can be quite apparent. I also have one that sits higher than the other. You know, they're sisters, not twins. So I really like this one because I can just do like little strokes to sort of mimic missing hairs and fill in gaps where it's needed rather than like painting in my whole brow, because I'm not really a fan of that look. Eyeliners, let's do it. I am going in with Marc Jacobs. This is Blacker in the fine liner range. So my Marc Jacobs eyeliner that I currently have in this quarter, I've mentioned it's drying up. I have had that experience with some of my fine liners as well. I am going to declutter the Marc Jacobs like normal liner that I have. So I thought I'm going to bring this in and see if I can get some use out of it. And again, she might be too dry. I'm going to call that product quits. It's too dry. It's not transferring properly. Okay, I've changed my mind about the liners. So I have some others. Another one that I wanted to throw into the project for the next quarter was Grapevine, which is a purple shade. And like this one's fine. This goes on the way that like I remember them. I also have Blacker Berry and Fine Wine. These two are also really good. I have Dove Affair, which is one that I had in the project in the first quarter. So, you know, I've been working on that as well. What I did was I snapped off the little bit that was like sticking out. So, you know, exposed to air. And I feel like it's going on a bit better now. So I'm wondering if it was just a little bit like dry from being exposed to air. Anyway, these guys, that's going to be my challenge to finish them up. I'm going to take some of Fine Wine and I'm going to put it along my lower lash line. See, it applies really well. It just seems to be that like that black one that had dried out a little bit. I really loved these pencils. The formula wore so well. There was good pigmentation. I'm scared when Marc Jacobs comes back to market, it's just not going to be the same. So I kind of just want to love these while I can. And I don't want them to like go completely dry and unusable. So I think they're all going to go into the project and I'm just going to really focus on getting some use out of them. I'm just putting a little bit of Blacker Berry on the outer corner just to darken it up a little bit. Okay, smoky liner is in my future for the rest of the year and I am okay with that. Mascara. I'm doing Maybelline. This is actually new. It's a Falsy Surreal mascara. So if you've watched my content recently, you'll know that I picked this up at Chemist Warehouse and I have been enjoying it. I was planning on bringing in another mascara from my stash that is older, but I thought that's a bit silly because it's unopened and it would be better for me to get some use out of a mascara that is already open. Lips. So usually what I do is I have an array of lip products in my project pan for the given quarter, and I'm still going to do that, but for today I just pulled out 2 products. What I'm looking for is a combo where I can hopefully pan one of these, an Hourglass Confession lipstick. I grabbed this. This is the XO Beauty Smooth On Lip Pencil in Tracy, and I picked out this shade from Hourglass. It is One Day. So this is a nude shade. I'm going with Easy, not a red, not a dark berry, not a pink, nothing like that. I'm trying to go for like a nude that I can pan. This lip pencil is like a purpley sort of shade. It does have some pink in there. It might pull too pink on me, but I'm going to try it out. I would really love to pan one of my Confession Ultra Slim lipsticks this year. I have one in the current quarter. I know for a fact I'm not going to pan it. It's a red shade, but I thought if I pull out a nude, I'm giving myself the best opportunity to pan one. So this shade is One Day. Let's get it on and see what I think. I think that's a pretty nice combo. Because the lip pencil has some like slight purpley tones in there, it's good for like lining. This is a lighter nude for me, but I quite like it. I think I might be able to make that combo work. Okay, so thoughts on the makeup. I feel like everything that I have used here, I am happy to have in the project for the next quarter. I am going to add some extra lip products because that will be fun. I am actually quite glad that I've made the decision to just like focus on these liners. I think the color combo that I chose was probably not the best. I think the red, there was too much. I was doing too much red, and I just think it was a bit like clashy. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I think it's turned out just fine. I do think I need to find some brushes that are going to work in that small pan of the Hourglass palette. But I think I'm ultimately going to go ahead with this group of products. I do have to admit, I don't think like the Lumi Glotion, this L'Oreal product, like where is she? I don't know, but I could also use her as a liquid highlight since I'm not loving the Hourglass like strobe powder as a highlight. Like where is it? Where there's a little bit. There's tiny bit there, but it's pretty, I don't know, it's just looking a bit grim. But that's it. I'm going to leave it there, guys. They're the makeup items that you're going to see in my project pan for the next quarter. I didn't expect to for like everything to just kind of work and come together, but it appears that it has. So that's going to be a spoiler. I'm going to leave that there for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Massive shout out and thank you to my channel members and to all of you for watching me today, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.